sense. Well, speaking of feeling old and speaking of streaming, I gotta say that I don't know where to find my shows, man. Like, the show is on, like, 3 different streaming services. We've got Hulu, we got Peacock, we got Disney Plus, we got Netflix, we got Max. Where's the show? Like, when I go to the other one, it's here. And then I turn it on, it's like back 2 seasons, maybe it's probably just happening to me. I have some kind of technology block.
You're onto something, but I have a confession to make.
Mm-hmm.
Those boomers that I talked about who are not cutting the cable, you can throw me right into the group with them.
Man, I don't want to either.
I still pay for cable.
Hey,
and I haven't I have never Hulu'd. I have never HBO Maxed.
Oh man,
I have never
done
so
hard.
I have never Paramounted.
Dude, I don't know. We Paramounted.
I haven't done.
I'm mounted all over Yellowstone, bro.
So you have it all.
Oh, we did. I mean, we turn them on, we turn them off. I have a Xennial.
But you've had cable the entire time.
Oh yeah, but mine's called D-Stream. I mean, it's kind of cable. It's kind of streaming. Like, it's cable. It's cable.
Yeah.
For you, but for the Xennials, that's what I said. Xennials. It's streaming. I only stream, bro.
Wow. Yeah.
My wife she takes care of all the logins, and I have to keep track of the passwords. I mean, you gotta keep it on lock. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well, I that's funny though. We're talking about this because I made a directive, and I have to be very careful with the fact that I just admitted that I gave my wife a directive. I don't. That's not going to. Let's just say I made a
check in on you.
Let me rewind this. I made a proclamation for our household that this year, and starting now, it was time to end the cable adventure. And I told her to do that yesterday, and last night we still had cable. So directives don't work.
Well, because you can't do it yourself.
I could.
You proclaimed it because you were hoping that someone would execute it for you, because you may not have the cable fortitude to drop it. And I know this because I didn't either. Back in 2010, I thought I would save money. Maybe 2012, I got the flu. December 25th. I was down. Yeah. I was down for 10 days, man. So that's
crazy.
That's a week away. Maybe it was like December 22nd. That's a week away from New Year's. I was going to cut off my cable as a New Year's resolution, because right now that's where we are right now. That's what you were thinking. Like, 100%. Cutting the cable, cutting the cord.
I'm done.
By the time it got to 10 days, I had been alone in my house so much, sweating through piles of clothes, that I was talking to my cat, having my mom deliver orange juice to the front door, that I was unable to cut the cord. I couldn't do it. I was feeling cabin fever. Like, I know what cabin fever is because of the flu and the fear then that I would be missing out on the world, or that I already did, and that's why I couldn't cut the cord.
Wow.
Still have it 7 years later.
Wow.
13 years later, whatever it is.
What a story. Well,
so you may be feeling a microcosm of that.
Yeah, here's the truth, and I hate to be so wife-centric this morning, but
that's good. It's a good thing.
The amount of shows that she is okay with consuming, I could count on one hand. And that's the number one reason why it's time to make a change. Okay, she is one of the Food Networkers, and I know you guys are out there. Is it cake? Go ahead. I listen. She will watch Food Network. She's been sick. We just
came off the flu, right? That's what I got in our text message.
She did, and I noticed yesterday, especially, when I left the house and I got back to work and I came back home hours and hours later, I said, "This TV hasn't changed from Food Network one time, has it, honey?" And now, to her credit, it was a tournament. See, Food Network. I want you to understand that there was a time when Food Network was all about preparing food.
Giada and Emerald, and they're just making recipes. What?
It's still about preparing food, but now how do we turn it into a competition?
Sure.
Everything is a food competition game show. Add some element of the clock that you got to beat. That's all she's watching. So some kind of tournament of champions, people that had won. Chopped. Chopped, okay? Chopped. I'm being invaded by the show Chopped in my home. And I have no problem with that because I agree with the tenets of this United States of America that we should live and let live. But what I am not going to do in 2024 or ever again,
I'm here for it,
is pay for 300 channels and watch my wife only watch one of them.
I see.
Between Food Network and Hallmark, yes, she's one of them too.
Oh wow.
She's an Hallmarkian.
Really good stories.
Well, it's about 4 really good stories told 77 different ways.
Yeah, I mean that's still
where you
really
always
good
know
stories.
the bad guy's gonna go there. In fact, is there a bad guy?
He's gonna turn into the good guy.
Man, so between Hallmark, Lifetime, those movies, and Food Network, that's it for her. I can get all of that for about $15 a month.
Yeah, that's true.
It's time to stop paying $200
So it's
for a $15 bag of
it's
stuff.
an efficiency decision.
It's an efficiency decision.
Sure.
You like to feel like you got all these choices, but when you really look, if we could look at the data, if we could just literally put up a graph and say, hey, this is what you've been watching on this thing now. Yeah, we would have cut it off a long time ago.
So D-Stream now, when you turn it on.
Now, time out. Are we talking about DirecTV?
We are, yeah.
So you jumped on that.
Oh, yeah.
That was there, see, because the cable companies, they're trying to get into. They're like, hey, we can do the Hulu like you want to do, right?
Yeah, and you can share it all over the place. You can use it everywhere. I'm at the office. I got my D-Stream on TV through the website. I'm over at my mom's house. I'm watching it over there. I'm on my phone in the car. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
The news is on while I'm on the way to work. You know.
Absolutely.
Whatever I finished, whatever I wasn't done watching, I just pop it on.
with you.
Yeah. You know, I'm listening to it, and so I record everything. I've like unlimited recordings, but what I was gonna say is that I don't even go to the guide ever. All I do is turn it on. It's got like 10 watch nows, like stuff that
because it knows you.
Kind of, yeah.
Because see, the old cable don't care. The old cable don't know you. The old cable doesn't suggest anything. The old cable says, here's 200 channels, pick something.
Sure.
But this
it's
new
a lot of
stuff
work.
Is like based on your brain, what you like, what you used to like.
I gave them
they're
all the
jumping
data.
on the YouTube channel. They're jumping on the YouTube channel.
D-Stream, thank you. I go there, I watch that stuff. That's what I like. The guide, it's so tedious. I mean, I might have to scroll and read some words. I can just look at icons and get exactly what I want. Thank you, D-Stream. I'll take it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that is beautiful. But are you getting it for less than?
I have no idea.
Or let me ask. So at home, are there any cable boxes at your house?
No.
Okay.
No cable boxes whatsoever.
That's
we just
awesome.
we have Amazon Fire Sticks everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a cable box. We got a Fire Stick on every TV, old TVs, new TVs. Each one of those has all the apps: the Disney Plus, the Hulu, the Netflix, the YouTube.
And we've talked about that because brother, I love you for this.
Yeah.
Because now all the TV the new TVs have made Fire Sticks not as necessary, right?
Sure.
A Fire Stick was a way to take a TV that didn't have any smart capabilities or limited smart capabilities, limited apps that you could choose from. I remember buying TVs that had 5 pre-built apps in them. And if you wanted something outside of them 5, forget it. It's over. Mm-hmm. So the Fire Stick allowed you to bring any streaming service to the party. But do you have any of the newer TVs that have them all? And if you do, would you still use the Fire Stick? If you could just,
Maybe. I might still use it just so it's familiar to me, And the best TV that I have, I bought in 2009 off a penny auction website, is a 3D TV. It's like a $4,000 TV that I got for $900. This thing is so clear, people will be standing in front of it and they'll start looking at it weird, like, is there something wrong with this TV? and then just like get all up in, and it's like deep, like you can reach inside. Oof. And this TV's in our bedroom. I'll probably never ever quit this TV. I can't quit yet. Samsung 47-inch 3D LED TV. I'm sticking with that one. But you know, I am very familiar with that. So in our furnished rental that is just now got finished,
let's go.
We were going to put TVs in there, and just so I would be familiar, you know, because sometimes like I put a fire stick at my mom's house. That way when I get a call, it's like, how does this work? Then I just pop up my TV and I can tell them where to go. It's kind of like same reason that you want your mom to have an iPhone, so that when there's a problem, it's easy for you to fix it because you're familiar with the interface. So I kind of am thinking of going with the smart TV for like, and using the apps for the new TVs that I'm working with. Don't have them at my house, but at the furnished rental, I need to lean on the familiarity, you know?
Yeah, you do. That's just the way to go with these now. People are used to them. The TVs are just cheaper than why can't everything else in society be like TVs? Every decade of my life, they've gotten bigger, better, and cheaper. Nothing else in my life has gone the way of a TV.
Maybe we should have a segment called Cheaper going forward. But it would only have TVs in it.
I was just saying, this segment would be here today and gone the next episode because nothing else works like that, man.
Yeah.
I also happen to know that at the turn of the century, the average dimension of a TV was about 24 inches, and today it is over 50.
What TV do you have? What is your largest television set in your property?
So let's talk about that. Number one, I never jumped on the Fire Sticks. Mm-hmm. I never did because I was so. I'm always late when it comes to things that everybody else is doing.
I'm not an early adopter either. It's such a waste of time.
But there is something kind of boomery in my brain that if I love the way something has been working for me and I have no real complaints, I am not the guy trying to make, I'm Mr. Leave well enough alone. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't need to find a way to make it a little better. It's how loyal I am.
Know what I mean? That's our Gen Xism.
Yeah, if you're treating me right. And I feel like if I had to grade you and you were a 7.9 out of 10, I'm not going to waste my life looking for a potential 8.3 and blow what I got with the 7.9. I'm just not going to do that, you know.
You could end up with a 2.1.
Oh, 1,000%. You might think the grass is greener and find out, I want my 7.9, but where did I go?
Yep.
So I never jumped, I've never owned those devices you plug in and it makes your TV smart.
Chromecast was a 2.1. Go ahead.
So the first smart TV I bought from a guy used who had bought it new, and when he upgraded, we bought his, and it was one of the ones I was telling you about that had basically 5 to 10 apps on it.
Sure.
There was no adding any of them after the fact. If you didn't see the name of the app on your remote to hit it directly, it just wasn't on there, and we barely, I think the only thing that we used with that was Netflix. Now, keep in mind, as a video game guy, when you have these newer generation video games, they essentially work like a Fire Stick. You can download any app onto those and then put it on the TV. And so when the NFL decided they were going to be in bed with Amazon and Jeff Bezos, and now I got to stream every Thursday night. I can watch TV. I can watch regular TV to watch, NFL any other night. But now on Thursdays, it's a streaming exclusive on Amazon. Thursday Night Football brought to you by. So when that happened, I noticed I was turning on my my video game just to watch that and all that, and that's fine. This is some first world problems that I have to do 2 other things before I can. This is
your slow conversion from cable to streaming.
Yeah, this is a non-issue.
It's tough. It hurts.
And finally, it was getting into the furnished rental game.
Oh yeah.
When I said, dude, I had to furnish, my first Airbnb, and I realized how cheap the TVs were, and that the TV in my own room, I bought used from a guy that I used to work with when he decided that TV wasn't good enough for him. Like, that's how That's what you're looking at here.
Yeah, you're okay.
That's beyond some boomer stuff right there. Okay.
We're cut from the same cloth.
Yes,
as far as that goes.
Yes, but once I furnished a house with like 6 TVs, and honestly, between buying them and a couple of them, I did get used. Okay, but I made sure I got the new.
Yeah, it's
what I'm saying. I still make
used is good.
But I think I must have put 6 TVs in a house and barely spent $1,500. I was like, okay, wow. I can't keep going over and fix it. Turning over these furnished rentals. Loving my experience on the smart and because I love YouTube.
Yeah.
For me to be able to take something and watch it on YouTube and just throw it on the TV in 2 seconds,
that's awesome.
That was a benefit for me. And I sold myself on to getting those type of TVs in my home through that process.
Yeah.
And I never had a chance to actually use them and see what the difference was. I would have been an even slower adopter. And with all of that said, the main TV in my living area and now finally even in my own room, I got a 65-inch in my own room, and we're talking entry level Vizio.
Oh yeah.
We're talking $300-$400 TV, which is crazy.
What? What?
It really
65 for $300 or $400.
It's nuts. And then in my in my living area, we got just a 55-inch down there, which works fine. And I'm happy in that, and I say all of that to say that if I hadn't slowly made these infrastructural changes, I wouldn't be willing to put my foot down right now and give a directive to my wife, who's, let's be honest, the only reason I'm giving a directive to her is because the cable just happens to be in her name. It didn't need to be in both of our names, so you can't call. I call up, but listen, I don't, whatever, buddy.
I wonder if I could call about my stuff in my house.
If she allows you, if she puts you on the little page of, authorized users or whatever. But
can I show a marriage license or something?
You might have to.
Just a ring, a wedding. Forgot my wedding ring today. Don't worry, she's bringing it because we work in the same building.
See?
Yeah, I like that.
You heard that. I got mine. I'm good at my wedding ring stuff.
Looking good. My biggest TV is a 65 or a 60. It's a curved one. Samsung that she bought on Black Friday like 8 years ago, like right before she was with me. So I don't know if I would have bought the curved TV.
It was the thing, boy.
They had y'all there. I don't know what it does. When I'm over here, I can see it a little because it's looking at me too. Maybe,
dude. That was.
I cannot believe now, though. I'm actually thinking this TV might not be big enough. Like, over here in our conference room, we've got these 2 TVs. How big are these over here? Like 85?
I don't know. They're large.
They are big. I couldn't have one like that in my living room, but I'm thinking, and then I'm stretching myself to, we have like a 42 or a 450 over in like the hearth area where the kitchen is.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be like a 42. And I'm like, that's too small. Can I move this 65 over in the kitchen? And then put an 80
Man does have a pretty big
in the
kitchen.
living room? What are we talking about, though? It's going to be asininely large if that TV goes over in that hearth area, but I might not care. Someday, I might just have video walls anyway. I might just be working on a video wall right now.
Well, I made the mistake of joining a man cave group on Facebook. And boy, these groups on Facebook are what keep me coming back, let me just tell you. And there are some amazing man caves out there. And one of the themes that I'm finding when it comes to TV setups is the old 4x4, where you take, 4 50-inch TVs and you put them all together, and they've got these switchers that you can go from watching one huge thing on there, like it's 4 different TVs, but showing it all on one deal with, the little bars through it, which don't really matter at that size. Or you can put 4 different football games games on at the same time. I could see something like that if I ever go nuts in my basement, for sure. For sure.
Oh, what would I need that for? I get the 4 screens, but then the whole, like I've seen it where it's like 3x3. It's like 9 screens.
Yeah, dude.
And then these guys, they must have unlimited money, and they're the ones that have no bar in between them. Like the whole front is the screen, and this thing just looks like a huge TV, and that must cost $8,000 or something, right? It probably doesn't.
I mean, it depending on how crazy you want to get with it and how crazy you want to get with the frame rate and all that. Because truthfully, I actually know why TVs are functioning the way that they are and they're going in the wrong way, is that all the new stuff that they put out there to say, man, we got it. It went from 1080p to 4K, from 4K to 8K, from 8K to some other crap that nobody's even filming in. So even if you have it, there ain't going to be any media that's actually going to be able to, all that type of stuff. Most regular people don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Just show it to us big. We don't care if it's a hair blurry when the people are moving. We don't give a damn.
My 3D TV doesn't make any sense. There are no movies to watch on this TV. These glasses, they do a 3D thing for like 2 movies, man. Maybe Avatar kind of works. I tried Harold and Kumar's Christmas just recently. No, not at all. Even back in the day when I couldn't afford that, I bought the glasses and they were like $100 each pair. Put them on. Totally underwhelmed. Didn't use them for 10 years. Tried again this year. Same thing. And there's just no movies. So I hear what you're saying. You buy the stuff and then what? You have to become your own production studio for...
It just we all know somebody that is an early adopter on some kind of TV technology, and we feel like they're stupid because 2 years later you can get the same damn thing for almost pennies on the dollar. I will tell you right now, because there are some people that are watching this, consuming this podcast that are young enough to not understand that right now in my dang garage there is a TV that was gifted to me by a buddy. This buddy's father is a president at a bank. He makes a lot of money. He was one of the people who had the money to be an early adopter on television technology. And when was the dawn of the flat screen TVs? The early 2000s, okay? And at that time, it was nothing to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a 50-inch flat screen, and these things are heavy.
Yeah, that's like 75-pound TV or something, probably, right?
Yes, you better get all stud when you putting that damn that TV mount up. You better have studs on all 4 of them because these things are heavy. But $4,000 TV that eventually became essentially obsolete.
Probably getting hot.
Listen. They put real technology. I watch this TV in my garage. All right, I can hook up HDMI to it, and we can do some stuff. It ain't but $4,000.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. Since we're talking about TVs, as a real estate agent, all right, you're a realtor. You're out there showing houses, and you walk into a basement, and somebody has a home theater, and it's got 2 rows of seats. And it's got the feet, coming up. How do you feel about that? How does your buyer react to something like that? Have you experienced it?
Not a ton. I think here in the Midwest, it's definitely a thing. But a lot of the folks here, man, they're it seems like most of the people who have a house. That's a very select few homes that have the ability to dedicate that kind of space.
It hasn't happened to me very many times. Probably 3 to 7 times in a 16-year career, which a lot of my career was spent in, lower end property, and that's what I've always shown. But so when we've walked in to something like that, we're always pretty...
wow, this would be awesome
really
to have.
Cool. I can't. Wow.
Will they leave the projector?
You have to
start asking those questions.
but you also think they've probably been living here for a while. Like, this is probably an old TV. This is probably an old, receiver that you got back here. Probably an old projector. But at the same time, well, so you think, hopefully they don't want this stuff.
Yeah.
And if they did, and we bought it, we'd probably never buy this stuff to set it up again. So it's almost like if they're not going to leave it, like if they've already moved out of the house, it's actually probably a detriment to the house, because it's like a buyer is going to think, well, what am I going to do with this area? I'm not spending $5,000 on a home theater system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's there, which is what happened to us, because we bought a house, has a really small home theater. Like, they took all the seats out. So we have the couches that I had in my first house, they're like packed in there. You're sitting, cross-legged on the back row. And I mean, it's cool having it. I've got, my favorite recliner that I can't throw away and never will. Don't ask me to throw it away. It's got a cover on it. Okay, cat scratches, that's fine. I'm keeping it. All right.
Yes, sir.
But it took us like 5 hours. One night we stayed committed. We ended up going to Walmart at like 3 a.m. to get, because we couldn't get the old RCA cables and all that to work. So we bought like a 40-inch HDMI cable, put a Fire Stick up there, I believe, or something up there, and then we ran it through an Xbox, and that's how we got the screen to work with all of our new equipment. Nobody knows how to turn it on. Just my wife and I. People come over, Luke, can you come down here and turn the TV on? But the teenagers, when they come over, like for New Year's, that's all they want to do. All they want to do is hang out down in that theater. So I think it's really a bonus.
Well, let me stop you and let me ask you this. How many times have you actually, not how many times total, but if you could break it down per year, where you say, us as a family, we are watching a feature presentation on family movie night, and we're all going to go into the basement and we're going to act like we're at a movie theater and we're going to pop some popcorn. How often does that actually happen?
I would say
per year.
This last year, well, I mean, we've only been there for 2 years. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So last year we probably did it 16 times, maybe.
I'd say that's pretty healthy. More than once a month?
You would think. And I put my office in the back down there, and I want to go down there more, but I feel like I'm away from the family too. It's like, if we're going in, we have to be committed that we're going to watch. Like, a lot of times we'll watch the KU game down there.
Okay.
Or a Chiefs game or something like that.
Okay.
Or we'll go down. We might play, my stepdaughter and I, we play this video game called It Takes Two. And it's like, she's 9, and so it's teamwork. So a lot of times we end up like, I'm talking her through like, what, she go over here and hold this lever while I go over here and jump over. All right, hurry up, spin it. And it's fun. I like it. I'll never take it out of our house. And I think it is a selling point, as long as you guys, when you sell a home theater, as a realtor, I'm telling you, make sure you leave that equipment in there, because otherwise you're taking value away from your property. That's all I'm saying. And set it up, make it work for those people. Be kind, because some people might not be able to get it to work, And I do want to make one last comment, that one of the best experiences of my career is that before this, I was in government, and the guy that mentored me called me up, and he wanted to go, we were looking for houses. He bought a house where it was a builder's house. The guy put an addition on his house, and he built like a real cinema, dude. Like, this thing was 20-foot ceiling, moldings all over the walls, the dimmable lights, 2 or 3 rows of movie theater seats, and this screen had to be like 16 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, there was a little mystery about the equipment, but we just bought it in good faith, and I haven't been over there to watch a movie, but even during the showing, it was really fun sitting in there and looking at this, just knowing that I've been a part of a home theater like that. It was really cool. When they build it like a movie theater, it's awesome.
I know that's right, man.
Yeah.
Attainable. Well, but I think we have opened the new year. We've blown the cap right off the champagne bottle.
Yes.
There are many, many possibilities that I'm excited about. So many things that I'm ready to get on to something about being down and out and sickly. A lot of potential energy balls up inside of you, and I am ready to just let it loose on the world.
That time between Christmas and New Year's is probably a good time to be sick, like
Right, that was very lucky.
You wanna, especially as a real estate agent too, you wanna lay down, you wanna take a break, but you wanna prepare for the new year too. So you needed that.
I did.
You needed that excuse to lay in bed or lay on the couch and not make phone calls the whole time and go out in the cold and
That's
everything.
right.
And now it's time to pour into this new year and bury yourself in work and let it become what it is, like this podcast did today. You know?
That's right, baby. That's right. And, we want to say thank you again for everybody that is tuned in, everybody that has commented, liked, shared, and sent to a friend, because without you guys, we are literally just a couple of guys talking to ourselves in a dark room. And
we love you. We hope you keep coming back and hanging
with the homeboys.
Happy New Year.